what's up, you guys, ladies, men, non-binary friends? Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
This is podcast number 1, episode 1, our friendship cast. And not the cast itself, but purely this overlay with which you were staring at took us an hour and 27 minutes, and then I had a bathroom break, and then we came back and hit record. So here's where we are. So if you don't like it, please don't mention anything in the comments because I will be crushed. And I just realized your text goes here is in the upper left corner.
No, I think that adds spice. And you know what? Interior design is difficult, and
Oh
it's
my
not a path
god.
everyone can tread on. I think we did pretty well with what we had.
So I'm Megan, and I go by Megarang on many forms of social media. That would be Twitch. That's like Facebook. I think I'm on Mixer, but I've not done anything on Mixer yet. And YouTube. Babs also has a channel, but she goes by Rosie the Scribbler 69. Tell them what you do, Rosie.
Okay, well, hey, you guys, I'm Rosie the Scribbler 69. Um, I go by Rosie, and I was formerly and regrettably previously known as the waifu pillow.
Yes.
Um,
Good times.
I
Good
probably
times.
shouldn't have led with that, but it's important that they know who they're dealing with, which is the waifu pillow.
She forgot to
Because I feel
mention
like
she
that
does art. Like all of the art you're looking at, other than the cropped photos, is all Rosie the Scribbler originals. Co-
that's me.
yeah, commissioned artist. She gets business out of this. Commissioned artist.
If you like very 90s high school, I scribbled in my notebook because I was bored in math class because we were learning the quadratic something, then
It's a
that's
formula.
me.
That's
I'm
a
your doodler.
that's called a
I'm your
formula.
scribbler.
She's a very good scribbler. I, on the other hand, I do gaming, I do chatting, and I do hobbies via stream. But I am professionally from a wildlife background. Spent many years doing wildlife and land management. But now I find myself as a business lady. Unfortunately, they found me to be reliable, organized, and a very good planner, which nowadays is a punishment. And now I do project management for an IT department, and I know nothing about computers. It's solely because I take good notes, which my fault. That's on me. Um, I would love to get back into wildlife, but until then, I'm just gonna have a good time with Babs here, which is why we have a podcast now.
I mean, there's also a thing called like a backyard,
Yeah, I got
but
one of those. It's mowed. It looks great. Don't worry about it.
I'm well, I'm 24 and I'm sort of kind of not really freshly out of college. I have a science background. I majored in physics. Don't ask me that much about it because it's blank. I don't remember. We're moving past that. And I like to play some video games, and I mostly just like to hang out here with Megan.
God,
Hi,
that's so
friend.
nice. Hi, friend. You make me feel so good when you say that. I enjoy your company so much.
I do too, because none of my other friends like think like we do.
Which
Because
that's perfect because of our topic today being friendship cast. And that's kind of what forged our friendship is we are so similar and we get along very well, but I think we manage friendships very similarly. Um, in fact, I think we manage our lives similarly, which is we manage everything. And hence me being in project management and you being an analyst.
that's true. My day job was being an analyst. I was an actuarial analyst, and yeah, I managed and prioritized a lot of things, and sometimes I even used my brain, and I got really good with some data and spreadsheets. So
Oh god, spreadsheets are my life. I
I actually
love
really
color
like them.
coding. Yes, I can't live without them. But this is not spreadsheet cast. This is friendship cast. The whole reason we met was an entire fluke, and I never thought it would end up here with us creating a podcast, which is just like totally rad if you ask me. But uh, it was, I think, over a misunderstanding. You thought I was a jerk, and then you started talking to me. Yeah, I think your exact words to me were, "Hey, I'm really sorry," and I was like, "Oh, hello, you. For what?" And you're like, "Well, I was really mad at you, and I
Oh
thought you were
God.
a jerk, but then I
Don't
watched
expose
you
me.
from the distance and you're actually
No.
pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Oh
Sorry.
my God.
Okay, now you do your version.
No. Okay,
That
well, yeah,
doesn't
I think
even.
it was over a misunderstanding. And I was like, "Hey, you're really funny," or something. You're like, "Oh, thanks." And I think we left it at that. And then, like, hours later, you made the conscious effort to, like, sit there, think about it, message me back, and said, "Hey, wait. I didn't realize you were the waifu pillow because your Discord thing says Rosie."
Yeah, you
And,
weren't
like, you
going by
had
the
no
same
idea who I
name.
was, and I didn't even think about that.
No, and like I genuinely thought you meant I was funny, and I really appreciate the compliment. So I sat down and I took like 20 or 30 minutes to get to know you, and somehow that won you over, which I thought was just common human decency.
I will say, I was like thrown off, but accepting. Like I was receptive to it, I guess. Like how I got the feeling you really wanted to be my friend and you were very genuine about it, but not in like a touch and go kind of way, which I find to be like sort of how a lot of people on the internet are.
Yeah. I think when I realized who you were and that I had seen your name in some of my streams before, I associated it, excuse me, to some jokes you had made in comments. I was like, oh, she's definitely got my humor. But what I didn't get was that you were testing me back then, because to me I was reading it as we're having a
Oh
blast. I was
God.
like, we're having so much fun together right now. Now I see
Oh
you
my
were
God.
testing me, and I think that's why you ended up liking me, is because I was just keeping up.
You were so oblivious.
Because like you started off with you're so funny, I'd like to get to know you more, and I was like, all right, well here it comes.
First of all, I
And
would never say that to someone.
you
So
totally
that's
said it. I
like,
think I have it pinned. Let me go to
no,
Discord.
please don't.
I have
Don't
so many
expose me.
compliments from you pinned. Okay, I won't
No,
expose you.
stop. I
Anywho,
wouldn't.
Babs is basically obsessed with me, and we're looking into adoption right now, and pretty soon she'll legally be my sister.
Oh my
So
God.
congrats to us. That's
But
also, I'll be honest though, like I owe China a big credit because Babs was there for quite a while doing work. And if she wasn't so miserable in China, she probably wouldn't have taken that much time to just shoot the breeze with me every day.
oh my gosh, it's
Which
true. Misery
really,
loves
it like,
company.
I know, and it like cemented our friendship.
It
Because
really
you had
did.
nothing but free time with that several hours difference, and I could entertain you during that window.
We were like exactly 12 hours apart.
Oh, we just caught it like for my early morning to your basically early evening.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh, I loved it. Oh my god. And now we're on the same time schedule and it's like I talk to you less and it drives me nuts.
Well, don't worry, my sleep schedule's getting terrible again, so I'm
Perfect.
almost there.
Excellent. The more unhealthy you are, the better our friend. No, I'm just kidding. Because I think one of the things that I appreciate about our friendship and can appreciate with certain small other friendships that I also label as close friends is the fact that they're low maintenance, our interaction never seems obligatory, and it never seems like, I don't want to say not hard work because I feel like you should put effort into everything that's worthwhile, but it's the kind of work you put into the friendship never has a sour taste afterwards. Like, I'm happy to do things for Babs or do things for us or work on projects with her. And I feel like everything I get out of the relationship is what I need from it. It's never not enough and it's never too, it's never too much or too little.
That's true, that's true. I do feel like I think one thing I super enjoy about our friendship is, yeah, it's low maintenance in the sense that I'm not over committing to it and you're not over committing to it because we both are so responsible that if we don't have responsibility, we will just die. If we don't have complete control over something, we will implode. But
Right.
like I think it's just that I know that whatever I put in is going to get, put out, I guess. Like I
Equivalent
never have to
exchange.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never have to question my like place in your, I don't know, friendship space. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know where it's
actually, I think that's, yeah, I was just going to say that. I feel like early in, God, it was probably only a week into talking to you that I felt like I knew where I stand with you, and I don't have to put up a front. I don't have to explain myself. In fact, after a few interactions with you alone, I realized I could say what I feel and think, and you just got it. In fact, most people who know me and meet me say Megan is very funny, she's very kind and patient. But that doesn't mean I enjoy people. I guess
Girl, same.
yeah, I'm the kind of person where I don't need a lot of friends or a lot of close friends, but those that I have are great friends. And I'm totally fine being isolated for great lengths at a time. In fact, in my old wildlife job, um, I would be outside 12 hours a day and not see a soul every day I worked, and I would be as happy as can be. That gives me a bit of an advantage when making friends, because then when I do make that friend, it's somebody who's probably fantastic. Upon meeting Babs and kind of having that connection where we think the same, I was like, this is a person who deserves my effort, my attention, and for me to be fully present.
That's exactly what I enjoy about any friendship I have. Um, I think it helps that we're like really similar in how we perceive and choose to understand friendships. Because,
Hmm.
like, okay, when you tell me stuff, if I'm not fully present, I'll say, hold on, I'm busy, but keep going. Because I'm thinking to myself, she deserves my full attention and she deserves to know that while she may not have it right now, she's going to get it and she will get a good reply after I have processed it and like thought about it and all that.
People want a lot of validation from a lot of people. You need validation from good people, not just quantity, it's quality. Having someone who may not be able to talk to you 24 hours a day, but can say, send to me what you need in a text. I will read it when I can and get back to you, but know that I'm thinking about you and I'm here for you. And us being so far apart when you were in China, that was something we had to do on the regular, and nobody was offended. It wasn't an issue. And there were times where I even, like, I had to blow up and I had to rant. And I said, if you don't have the time for this right now, tell me and I will stop talking. And we would just do
Or
that.
like I'd say, keep going. I'm going to sleep, and I'll wake up to your 52 messages.
Okay, that's true. sometimes she will screenshot my icon with all of the notifications on it, and at one time it actually was 52, and she sent it back to me. But that's what friends do, guys, is they blow up each other's social devices. That's what it's
Validate me,
for.
Meg.
I think I get more messages from you and my fiance Jen than anybody else on the planet. So I call that a success.
I feel like a lot of people, well, I don't feel, but sorry. Um, I know and I think that a lot of people are very lonely
Yeah.
and they think like, oh, well, I just need to put myself out there more and meet new people. And while I think that's a great idea, um, well, maybe for me personally, and probably you too, Meg, I think a maybe better, more realistic stance on that would be, why don't, instead of trying to seek out new friendships to get close with people and feel less lonely, why don't you just deepen the connections you already have, or like rekindle some that maybe you've lost to,
Oh
I
my
don't know, being
gosh,
distracted and being a
yes.
person.
That's so true. I think you're right. People are looking for like what they see on TV and movies. Like I grew up thinking it was weird that I didn't have five people I've known since third grade who are still friends with me now at like in my early 30s that we all just go out and have a girls' night. And I'm like, am I weird for that? And then I realized the majority of people don't have that. That's not a real thing. And if you want to connect with somebody from third grade, you have to put in the effort. And that's a big thing with you too is I try to ask you first, but I also know you're more gracious with me than you probably would be with others when I need your emotional energy. And I feel like you're very respectful of mine as well. I try to gauge with people how close I am with them before I tell them certain things. And I know some people are really bad at that. Some people just want to unload right away, and you've just met them and you know their whole life history and every bad relationship they've ever had. But like
Yeah.
with you, I gave that a safe little buffer. It was mostly jokes and puns at first, but then as we got to know each other and we know, hey, this person thinks a lot like me. There's some truth to opposites attract, but opposites don't always hold. Opposites are opportunities to learn because that's somebody different from you. Somebody similar to you is somebody to kind of grow and heal with. So when I vent to you, it's somebody who makes me feel normal for having feelings, not somebody who's
Yeah.
opposite, where that's an opportunity for me to learn, is there something I don't know or something I should compromise or bridge the gap on? So I
Hmm.
think a lot of that's reading the types of friend, which is why I really value having my few close friends because I know I can tell them anything.
That's true. I think like I'm trying not to be like rude as I'm saying this, but the kind of person I was talking about that instead of rekindling old friendships that they or lost friendships that they've had and like the intensities with said people, the ones that like seek out new shiny relationships, I think they are kind of the people that are generally like oversharers, and they do make me a little nervous. And I do understand that they are lonely and a good place, and they truly do want to like make a connection with people. But I think I just get a little uncomfortable with that because when they tell me like their entire life story before I've said like anything really to them,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of makes me feel like there's a social reciprocity there and an unspoken expectation that oh shit, it's my turn to share, but I'm not ready to share.
Yes, no, I know exactly what you mean because I feel that too. I feel that obligatory of, okay, well now here's my sob story, even though I didn't really want to give them that. And it's not, they don't have a right to it, but it's hard to stop yourself when you feel like now you owe them.
Yeah, then I just feel guilty. And I know like probably to them that like in their head they're thinking, "Oh, well like they don't have to share if they don't want to." But
They don't yeah, that's the thing, is they probably don't understand the pressure that someone feels in that moment.
hmm, I don't know. One interesting point that was brought up to me about someone who is traditionally an oversharer is she was expressing, she's sort of lamenting the fact that oversharers tend to be kind of, they have a stigma about them, and it's not always a great one, and they're often like criticized for it. And people like us, who I would say are undershares, I wouldn't say we're
Yeah.
like I wouldn't say we're like the main population.
Let's
We're
just
just
say
the
if
other
we're about two steps
side.
away from being hermits, like I would totally be a very content hermit.
Honestly, yeah. Like,
But continue, I'm sorry.
I don't know. It made me think, like, it's true. Undersharers like us aren't really criticized in the same way. But again, I guess we don't really open ourselves up to that.
That's true, we don't.
I don't
Um,
know. Maybe it's better to be an overshare than an undershare. Maybe we're
well,
going about this the wrong way.
as you know, me being uh, my grumpy wilderness self, I love Robert Frost,
Oh my
the
god,
writer.
you
Yeah,
would.
I know. I do. I'm sorry if it's a cliche, and not even ashamed because I love his work.
Do you also like Jack London?
It's not as much as like Walden, Thoreau, and Robert Frost, but also Mary Oliver if you get a chance to read Mary Oliver. But anyway, Robert Frost. He has a great short story, and it's called, uh, I think it's Good Fences Make Good Neighbors. And that's forever to this day been one of, it just stuck out with me. We read it once in high school and it stuck out with me. Good fences make good neighbors. And what it is it's the whole story is a metaphor for not feeling obligated to make a further emotional connection than you want, but also to have healthy boundaries. And it's these two people who live near each other. They never hang out, they don't really talk, but they share a stone wall fence. And when a storm comes and breaks down that wall, they always have to meet each other and they talk and they rebuild the wall. And they always have a great time talking and conversing until the stones are placed back and the wall is rebuilt. But then they go their separate ways.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think people, um, sometimes I get the impression, maybe the reason I'm so withholding with people I don't really know that want to be my friend is, well, not only do I not know them, but I get the sense that they're so open with me, which is great because you do open up like, discussion and whatnot, but it doesn't have to necessarily specifically be me as the friend that they want. It could be anyone. I just happened to be there.
Right.
And sometimes I think like
It feels artificial.
yeah, it's just like, oh, I'm okay, well,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be me, so I won't even go there. I'll just wait for someone else to fill that, I don't know, hole. I was actually a little skeptical. Okay, I think between us, I was skeptical one, like when we first met,
Oh, you totally
right?
were. You flat out asked me, why are you talking to me and why are you being so nice? And I said, 'cause you're funny and I already decided I like you. And I flat out said that. I was like, I already decided you're my friend and I'm sorry, but you're stuck with me now. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
see,
okay.
usually people like with that energy, like that sort of openness and I'm gonna say abrasiveness, but I don't mean that in like a negative
No, I
way. I
totally
don't
get it. I'm aggressively positive to the people I like.
exactly that throws me off because I think of that as like, oh God, this is artificial. This is maybe not forced for her, but I could be any like peg in the hole, right? Like it could be anybody. But when I
Little
asked
did you
you,
know. I'm so sorry.
yeah, I think with you though, it was really cool because like when you said when I asked you the hard questions like why me? Like you actually could answer those with that same energy, so I knew it was genuine and that you did specifically mean me and it couldn't have just been anyone. Like you were talking to me and
Plus,
not just to
afterwards,
me.
you shortly
Yeah.
learned that I only have like 4 friends.
Hell yeah. Same girl. I've lived for those of you that don't know, which is pretty much everyone. um I've lived in like the same place for like over 20 years. Same house, like same hometown, same, everything. I grew up here. And I only have like one IRL like local friend that has like stuck around and that I actively like try to keep in touch with. And it's not that I haven't had friends and stuff here. It's just they're the only ones I really care to keep up with.
Right. I get
And
it.
yeah, that probably sounds a lot sadder than like it's meant to, but
But at the
I
same
like
time,
that.
like when you say that, I think that person must be awesome.
They are very awesome.
And I guess too, like what we're referencing, I do remember when you first started asking me, like, why the heck are you talking to me? Because we had already had positive experiences before you started asking me that, so it kind of came out of nowhere. And the only thing I could equate it to is like Lord of the Rings. You know, like Gimli, that dwarf who's like rah, and he's very abrasive, but he is on your side, and he's abrasive to others for you. And he's cheering like, and my axe. That's
Oh
me.
my god.
I'll be your Gimli. Like I'll be loyal to the end, but I'll be honest.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm like
I like
going
your
hard for
honesty.
you 100%. It's the
I'm
thing.
on your team. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
aggressively on your team. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. That's just me. I'm sorry.
No, no, that is so you.
Just want the best for you, Babs.
I also want the best for you.
Oh,
So
that's okay.
like,
I don't really care.
oh, okay.
But I appreciate it.
Oh my god. I like how you project manage all your friendships. You're just like, look, let me optimize every single emotional energy I put into this and make sure that everyone's gonna do their best.
Yeah, I do. That's a bad habit of mine. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it depends on the person. Like for me, I don't view it as bad because I'm like, oh, well, I'm in a sense sort of the same way. Like I don't want to disappoint you. And I like that you have I don't know. I like that you believe in me.
That
But I
makes
could see
me.
for someone else like how it could be very intimidating and maybe
Yeah.
off-putting.
That's the thing is like that gives me warm and fuzzies, but it also makes me feel bad because like I hope I don't put that pressure on people, and sometimes I wonder how much of it is them perceiving that they have to not let me down, and how much is me actually making them feel that way.
That's true. That's true. I think like well, I think we're so similar that I know in the hold on, I'm trying to like think of how to word this.
You think about it.
I very much value your opinion,
Score.
and
Yes.
I've never really met someone who quite has the same like burdening sense of responsibility that I
Oh
feel all the
no,
time.
that's what I don't. I don't want to burden you. I don't want the friendship to be burdensome. Oh my God, we're learning so much right now. We're learning about each other more than we knew.
Oh my god. So like for that, I don't know. I'm like, oh, would I be disappointed if someone? Nah, maybe. But also, I know like you and I, like we very much value our time, and we don't. well, I don't know, I can't speak for you, but I know with some people, I don't like repeating myself.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that, like, I don't need to be told something twice. And because, like, I respect your time because I respect my time and all that, I respect your time and I don't want you to
Babs.
feel, yeah, hi.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. We had that conversation. You're totally right. And of course, this is a bad example because I just interrupted you. But I, but I also hate being interrupted. But at the same time, we had that full discussion of we don't like to say something twice, and I don't remember specifics, but I remember you said something to me, and I said, "No, I'm not the kind of person you have to tell something twice to. If this is something that makes you uncomfortable or you don't like it, it never happens again."
It was
Or
something about gaming, right?
about gaming. Maybe it was about gaming. Well, either way, it was the same sort of connect. I think that was also too very early on in the friendship where I told you, "Hey, if that's something you don't like, it doesn't happen." And I
Yeah, I
feel
was very
like,
surprised that that didn't slip your mind and, like, you remembered.
yeah, well, only because it makes me think of instances growing up, especially when you're young, when you're a kid with peer pressure and stuff. Like, when you're not comfortable with something, how much people would urge you to just see their side, just try it, just do what they want to do. And that's not a, I know people are kids, but that's not a friend. A friend is like, oh, you don't want to do that? Okay, let's do something else. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's just such an easy response. So if someone can't do that for you, that's a big red flag right away. If someone can't say, hey, you're not into that, or hey, you don't like that, or hey, I've just really offended you, let me acknowledge that and make a change.
It's really not. It's actually, like, probably the easiest now that I think about it. I'm just sorry. Maybe I have, like, very low expectations of people, but I get so fucking flattered when people actually remember something I didn't like or did like, and they don't need to be reminded.
Right. It's just, I guess that just goes into care. Like when you
Yeah.
care for, about someone, or even about just a relationship, like the fact that I care that we have a healthy relationship that can maintain the test of time, that means I'm going to do the necessary things like watering, giving it sun, weeding, that kind of thing.
Girl, give me some Miracle Grow.
Here you go. There's a little bit extra phosphorus for you in your soil. Make it nice and rich.
Damn, girl.
Breathe that in through your shallow spreading roots, because you is a shrub.
Wow.
Sorry, I went on
That's
a
what you
tangent
think of
there.
me?
Yeah, shrubs are awesome. People really underrate them. I'm a big fan of spicebush on account of it smells so nice. It's actually closely related to the sassafras tree, which is my favorite tree. See, you're learning more about me.
Okay, well, not to brag, but I've killed many succulents.
That's the sad thing is that is really impressive.
Come over to my house. I'll kill your succulents.
Babs, how did you even do that? You had to have locked it into a closet and not revisited it for a year.
Well, sometimes it's from never watering them, and sometimes it's from loving them too much.
Oh, we've all been there. We've all loved something too much, Babs.
I've smothered it with my burdening sense of responsibility.
Oh god, that's a killer. It really is.
I should have given it space.
Oh, that reminds me, Babs.
Hello.
I value your opinion too.
Wow.
To come full circle. I do though. Like I was thinking about what you said earlier, and it did give me warm fuzzies that I don't ever want to give you that burden or that pressure to impress me or to do right by me. But it means a lot that you value my opinion and you value in a sense my approval, though you don't need it. You don't need my approval to be you and go live your life. Because I was thinking I value your opinion greatly, which is why I talk to you and I tell you things. But I think the
That
difference between
is
you and
giving me warm
I,
fuzzies, and if you ever
good.
repeat that, I will kill you.
Okay. Well, it's recorded, so it's going to be repeated as many times as
No, it's okay. We can
people
edit it out. It's fine.
get that in editing. But I guess what I was thinking, like to myself when you were talking about that, was like, okay, but do I feel a burden to deliver or to impress or to not let down? And I was like, no. And it's not out of like cockiness or
Well, I
anything
think it's
like,
also different for us because, like, while we both are very similar people and we do think alike and have the same, you know, I need to carry this or I will die,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Um,
We
it's
manage things to
different.
the grave.
We really do. Oh my god, we are overcommitters. But like, it's different because you're 10 years older than me, so you have a lot more life experience. So it's interesting to talk to someone who is like 10, like a different version, an older version of you. It's like, well, what would you do?
Yes. I
So
do
I really do
sometimes
admire that.
I do sometimes see myself at 24 when I talk to you, and it's not in the sense of looking down on you or thinking less of you or educating you. Because I really do
Thanks,
see you as
girl.
my equal. You're welcome. As my equal and my, like, just, you're my friend. You're just my friend. But I can totally relate to where you are in your life right now and some of the things you go through. But it also takes a lot of burden off of me in the sense where I value your opinion greatly and I will seek your counsel on things and your opinion on things. But at the same time, I'm never worried about letting you down because I feel like I know you well enough and I know me well enough that I won't do that to you.
No, no, it sounds great.
No, no. That sounds great.
It's just, I don't know,
I
it's
like that.
different because I do think like, I feel like what Meg is telling me is like what older me would do. So maybe I should listen, but also I need to make my own mistakes, but also I could not make them if I just listen. But then if I listen, am I really learning? Like,
That's the
I don't
best
know.
part too, is sometimes when we do talk about like specifics, you'll be like, but if this goes wrong, you can't say I told you so. And I'll be like, I'm not gonna say I told you so. I'm just gonna hope you continue on the path that's best for you. I'll still be your friend. I just be like, okay, let's never do that again.
I mean, that's fair. That's really like all I can
That's
realistically
fair.
hope out of this.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay, Bats. It's all gonna be okay.
I hope so. But like honestly, like okay, I know we talked about a lot about our very niche, specific kind of friendship, but hopefully the takeaway was just find someone that values the same things as you. Like,
Yeah.
I value my time above all else, and Meg does too. So because of that, blah 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 blah. Like it
Yes.
doesn't have to be time. It's just whatever you value. If
No,
you
I'm
value
gonna I'm
being
gonna stop you
oversharing,
on that one. Time is big. Sorry, Babs. I'm so sorry I interrupted you.
wow,
Yeah, but I
we might as
do.
well call this like ex friendship cast. No I'm kidding.
So back when me and Babs were friends, we really agreed on this one thing, and it was about our time. Because she values her time, and I value mine greatly. And we've like that was one of the first things we bonded over. It was because we both felt like there were different people in our lives and different experiences that we put a lot of time into, and it wasn't respected. And that hurts. But what makes that significant is the fact that you and I remember it. You remember those instances that affected you. I remember those instances that affected me. People hold on to that stuff. It doesn't matter if you're holier than thou or you're some Buddhist monk on a hill. You remember that because the only reason you put in that time is because you cared. And that means somebody didn't care enough back.
You just have to find someone that matches your own energy and similar expectations of a friendship as you have, or like they perceive friendships the same way you do. I mean, again, I know we were talking about our super niche friendship, but like hopefully the takeaway was, find someone that matches you. Also, maybe this is me being a little too cautious, but I think that you should be very watchful of people. It's not that you shouldn't be gung ho and like jump straight into like a new relationship, energy, friendship with. I think you don't really know a person until you see the adverse situations and stuff that they go through. Like it's very easy to want to trust people and be like they're a great person and they handle stuff well and they're awesome when their life is in like a steady state condition and it's stable and like their life is good and you're in a good place. But I feel like you just really don't know people until they go through tough situations, and you need to be watchful of that and see how they perceive that, process that, and react to it. I think that's very important.
I completely agree. Um, go ahead and admire somebody when they're at their best, admire them when they're at their average, their everyday, but also learn how they handle their worst. And that's not to say people can't be frustrated, people can't be down on their luck or angry. but see how they take it out on those around them, see how they process it, see if they still are themselves or if they lose themselves. Um, I know
See
even
if
with
they victim blame.
exactly. Um, I'm a firm believer of it's okay to not be doing that great in life as long as you're taking accountability for things and you're trying to overcome yourself and do your best. There's times where, Babs, I've told you about horrible times in my life, but I also was very honest with how I handled them, and even
Yeah,
when I didn't think I did my best.
I do. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but just know that I'm judging you. I'm kidding, sort of.
Judging for the sake of criticizing or putting people down, that's wrong, but judging is very much a cautionary and protective maneuver. Like, you should judge a situation. You should assess. You should
Yeah.
read people. You should judge them. You should try to figure them out. I mean, you can't just go in blindly and give everyone the benefit of the doubt all the time.
I think a huge part about like I was like processing what you were saying and I got lost in my own thought.
That's okay.
Um maybe this makes me a hard ass, but I believe you need to have like there needs to be a sense of conditional trust. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's actually a really, really good thing. And I don't think enough people exercise that as a caution or because you never want to be like, it's sort of, you don't want to overcommit in a friendship, right? Because then
Right.
it's not a friendship. It's just you're a enabler maybe, or just a soundboard for somebody. And that's not really fun. It should never be the end goal of a friendship, and you need to get out of that.
I 100% agree with you. Of course, that's not a surprise, but I feel like, because we're just talking about how we're both the same person, but I I think I don't want anyone to take this in the wrong way because I mean it in the literal sense, which people sometimes take as the cruel sense, and it's not. All trust should be conditional. Somebody show you who they are. If it's something that hurts you, change it. It's not bad. Again, it's just protecting yourself and taking care of yourself. It's also taking care of that person. If you know you're the toxic factor or that you hurt people and you don't want to, you've got to change the way you act or change how you interact.
Yeah, and I think that's so hard to do in our society because, well, at least in Western society, we do very much romanticize the idea of unconditional trust and romantic partners and friendships and family and blah
Hmm.
blah blah. And I just don't think that that's necessarily the most healthy route to go in navigating relationships of any kind.
But that can have the positive spin on it too. I mean, as far as trusting conditionally, like in a positive situation, you care about that person so much. And that can be like, for example, me and my fiance. Like, I know I can say just about anything in front of her, but also at the same time, I know I'm controlling what I do and say because I'd never want to hurt her. With you, you're such a close friend. We hit those friendship milestones pretty darn early. I can talk to you about farts, poop, whatever, and
Hell yeah.
yeah, I can share more with you than I would with somebody else, and it makes you feel good because you know I'm telling you something I don't tell somebody else. I can physically, emotionally, and verbally interact with my fiance more than I would with anybody else, and she can feel good knowing that I only say, do, and act that way in front of her. It's a good feeling to know those conditions are in place because it does let people know where you stand with them. And some people don't always aren't always owed those high tiers they wish they had.
Oh my god. That brings me to another point.
Go
That's
for
why
it.
I
Go
think I
for
have
it.
such a hard time with people who are genuinely like social butterflies or overshares because a lot of like those conventional milestones that like I hit with you or like other close friends, I don't get that with them because if they're like
It's all out right
chucking them
away.
at me,
Yeah.
I don't know like what that means for me. I don't know where I stand with them. I don't know if that means I'm special or if they do this for everyone. I don't know how to
Yeah.
respond to that. I don't know if they expect me to do the same thing and then like I feel forced to hit those milestones with them.
Slow and
It
steady
makes me
wins the
so
race.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't know. I
It never feels organic to me.
Again, I don't mean to. This just happens because of my brain and who I am, but I always make like animal plant and survival analogies. But like if you're in a survival situation and you go to tie a knot to lash something together, you don't do the fast, quick knot. You do the long one that has more intricate loops and everything, so that stuff holds together for a long time. If
If I were an
somebody's
outdoor Babs, I would probably agree. But I'm an
yeah,
indoor Babs,
oh,
so I'm
we'll
just
cover
thinking,
that. That's a future podcast. We're gonna talk
oh my
about
gosh.
outside versus inside. We got this, Babs. And that's the other thing is like you and I do think mentally and emotionally are very much alike, but like actual hobby and lifestyle, we do have those opposites that keep things interesting. We do have our differences. It's just our brains work the same way. And
On
that,
paper, we are very different people.
right, but everything
Internally,
else,
we are not.
yes. And that's what makes it work is we can keep that variety, that interest there. We can cover what the other doesn't know. And that goes again for people, that goes for friendships, close friendships, that goes for family, that goes for romantic partners. Having that strong similarity that pairs with some of those differences is what makes things last, and taking your time. I know some people are like, "Oh, I rushed in head over heels and it all worked out." Great. That is awesome that that worked out for you and you're very lucky. But there's a lot of truth behind people who take their time with things and really grow together. And
Absolutely. And if
I
you are different, you just have to like communicate that and be even more
be
like,
upfront about it. You're already going to be upfront
yeah.
about everything else. So,
Also, like, make sure you have the same end goal.
yeah.
Like, that really helps because then it's just like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm doing here.
If you let somebody know what you're after right away, they can let you know if they're down or not. They may be fully down for how you operate, but they may not, and that's okay. You've got to let them go have life the way they have it.
That's true.
People
I feel like
forget that.
everyone's so like, they just don't accept me. But it's like, are you really listening to the other person and accepting them?
Yeah,
Or are you just listening to say something back and say you do?
right. It's okay to want to be accepted, and people should treat you with openness, kindness, and respect. However, if someone deems you as not worthy of their respect, maybe assess why instead of just challenge them. Maybe you're not accepting them back or respecting them back. And that's not to
Exactly. Don't
say,
chase it.
yeah, that's not to say let people treat you like crap, or that's not to say the problem's always you. But it's saying be mindful of the situations, be mindful of your interactions, because you're probably also missing an opportunity to grow or expand on who you are. You
I
can't.
think for me, it's a little different. Like, our backgrounds are very different. And I feel like when I meet people, in nearly every aspect, I sort of subvert their expectation of me. And so I'm kind of used to like never really like at least at first glance not being seen for me because
Hmm.
and I mean like, that's kind of probably an unrealistic expectation, but I've got to like be cognizant of that. Slow down, take it slow, and realize it's nobody's fault.
Yeah. Being a person's very hard.
It it is because there's so many different ways to be a person. I
Oh,
could be a shrub.
oh, you'd kill it. You'd totally be Spice Bush, Babs.
I don't know what that is.
Google it. I'm
I don't
telling you, it's got similar leaf patterns to the sassafras, except looking like a total dinosaur foot. It can sometimes just look like a little mitten or a little oval shaped leaf. But they
do I have
change,
berries?
well, not all the time. But the spice bush, when you rub the leaves together or crunch them up, they smell amazing.
Wow.
You got a picture? You're looking at it?
Yeah, I see berries on it.
Yeah, that's just when it goes to fruit. It does. It's more about the
Can you
leaves,
eat them?
Babs. No, don't. I want you to just look at the leaves, Babs. I'm
No,
talking
wait,
about
can I
the.
eat them though?
That's not okay. When I see you, I see the leaves and the
Can
colors
we go hiking?
changing. We can, but then try to
Maybe
get
not.
a description of the smell. It's like as if it was like lemony but spicy, and it's a great smell.
It's kind of reminding me of like the deodorant Old Spice, but like the scent Swagger, which is for men that I've never used, but I smelled it one time. And for some reason, that's all I think of when you say Spice Bush.
Okay, swagger would not be the first scent I would describe with spice
Are
bush, but you whatever. I
you
don't know.
saying I don't have swagger?
Probably not on purpose. It might be from like a leg injury, but not a.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, can you eat the berries on a holly bush?
You shouldn't. You can eat the
Why?
berry, but I think the seed is bad for you. Only birds can digest the seed.
Why is nature trying to kill me? I'm just trying to appreciate it.
Nature survives by killing its predators.
Okay, well, I'm a human, so bow down to me, Mother Nature. And also
Oh.
you, Brother Nature.
Yo, yo, yo. Bronat, bronat.
My rap name would be Brother Nature.
I'd buy that album.
Hell yeah. Get my mixtape.
I
Except,
think.
instead of saying it's fire, I'm gonna say it's a forest fire.
Yeah, no, Babs, no. Only you can prevent forest fires. Don't put that album out. But follow this podcast. Babs and I, because we're managers and planners, we've planned material for like a solid 2 years. So we have a
We
lot
kinda
of,
did.
yeah, we really did. We have a spreadsheet online, Google Docs and Google Sheets of many, many upcoming episodes. This is just our opener to give you guys an idea about us and who we are. So we have a lot more coming, a lot more very specific topics that deal with shows we like, social issues, funny quirks about each other, pop culture. I don't know, help me out there, Beth.
Nature.
Nature. We've
Bears.
bears. We do have an entire bear cast.
Beats. Battlestar Galactica.
Oh my god, I have those glasses. I'm gonna have to wear those. We will at some points be incorporating video where you can see us. That's gonna come when we get a capture card. But follow this podcast.
trying.
Yeah. If you like who we seem like as people, follow this podcast because it will be to your benefit. But also, we will eventually solely have a Discord for this. But Rosie the Scribbler 69 is also very much present on Twitch, very much present on Discord, has her own Discord. Go to her Twitch page, you can find it. Present on Twitter. Me, Megarang, also present on Twitter, present on Twitch. Hop in the Discord. We try to
Just Google us.
just Google us, yeah. Find the updates. We'll keep you informed of when things are coming out. And just, stick around. This will be a journey. If anything, we've proved to you we are good people to keep around.
Or at least we think we are, which is good enough.
Yeah.
Also, like, if you have any, like, specific questions about friendship or whatever, or what we think about something, or maybe you can, I don't know, send us hate mail. That's all valid, and we'll address it and read it.
This is true. I think somewhere around
Send me
here
hate mail.
on this page there will be a WOSD email that you can send stuff to. But yeah, send us content. We'll cover it in further episodes, upcoming episodes, and maybe we'll do a WOSD questions cast where we just answer everybody's questions. We try to do like a self-help type thing.
Honestly, it'd be so cool if we did, like, a live questions thing, like, on Twitch.
Oh, we'll do it. We'll have to post when we're doing live casts.
Yeah, we would also need, like, around 69 followers so that we have, like, enough people to ask us questions.
You have to fit her aesthetic.
And stare at them.
If you guys don't like sort amongst yourselves to be 69, I think Babs will have a connection. A conniption? I used to be able to speak English. I think we spoke English when we first met.
Did we?
We briefly spoke German.
Oh, yeah, we did.
It's very short-lived.
Well, we just remembered different things.
Yeah, I remembered a lot of words, and you remembered something else.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want that to be a dig. I was hoping you'd fire one back. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'll let you have it.
Thanks, Babs. I appreciate it. That's my 1 point this week. I think the rest were yours.
Honestly, yeah. I feel like I have, like, 20 points, and you have, like, I think you just got out of the negatives with that.
Yeah,
zero.
We did it. Team Megarang. We're not going to win, but our points are going to be real good ones. And that's all that counts. I'm doing the finger guns right now in real life, just like my cartoon. Hey, yo, whoa.
Man, this is going to be fun to edit, huh?
It is. But I think we did well. So I'm going to stop it here. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate
unlike, uncomment, and unsubscribe below.
And never visit again. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Rad. Bye.